Welcome, everybody, to the 3Gspodcast, where we talk about all things geek-related. We also show off the gains, and we play some games. That's what I'm talking about right here. First up, though, today we're going to be talking about the Marvel news. Okay, I'm really sucking right now. My name is Elijah Harris, and this is the 3Gspodcast, where we talk about all things geek, all things games, and we play some games. Now, first up, we will be talking about the big Marvel news about how we're getting a reboot after Avengers Secret Wars. I guess that makes sense. Comic book-wise, it kind of does. I'll explain more later before I get into it. And then we'll go over a Fantastic Four review, spoiler-free, of course. And at the end of the episode, we'll go into spoilers, because I really want to talk about that post-credit scene. Ooh, don't say too much. Then we'll give a Marvel ranking. Following will be a Marvel quiz with my dad and little brother. It's going to be some good stuff. And I will say a little bit about the DC Superman movie, because I'm a little late about it. But man, was it one of my favorite movies of this summer, of this year, and of comic book history, because of how it's going to launch the DCU into something new. So let's get it started. First up, I want to talk about this Kevin Feige announcement. Recently, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige confirmed that Thunderbolts, aka the new Avengers director Jack Schreier, I apologize if I just botched the absolute crap out of your name, would be directing the upcoming MCU reboot of the X-Men, which is set to follow a post-Avengers Secret Wars soft reset of the Marvel Universe. Personally, how do you do a soft reset with the most amazing cinematic universe of our time, present day? Like, I love Avatar. I love the first one, I love the second one, and I definitely will watch the third one because of how amazing the trailer is and just how good it looks. But MCU is literally the greatest Marvel. It's not the greatest Marvel. It is the greatest cinematic piece that's been slowly put together, like a piano song. Like when you're playing the piano and you slowly put something together, orchestrate. They just orchestrated the biggest cinematic universe of all time, and they're just going to soft reboot it. They're just going to restart the piano orchestra just a little bit, just a little bit. And I honestly am okay with it, as long as we have Spider-Man. If we have Spider-Man, I'm chill, because he already killed Iron Man, and I'm at the point where, like, Iron Man was my favorite hero in just the MCU and the animated films and the Iron Man 1970s and Iron Man Armored Adventures. All of it was great. All of it was great. But my favorite superhero is from Marvel is Spider-Man, mainly because of the comic books and because of Andrew Garfield. We'll get into more of that in our next episode, where we will be doing a Spider-Man ranking. We'll also have music, and we will have a guest. I'm not going to give away that guest. Maybe I will at the very end of the episode if you stick around. So, let's go back into it. The director, is going to make a youth-focused reboot, Feige said, that may be reflected in mutant castings, and it definitely be felt in the tone and perspective of the film. Now, in a new interview with the playlist, Schreier expanded on Feige's previous comments. Careful not to reveal too much, the director agreed with Feige's statement, adding, "I mean, yeah, without going into too much, really almost any detail. What I can say is, it's just inherently interesting and complex material." I'm sorry, it's the X-Men. Yes, we know it's complex materials. There's a little guy who can literally transform into any mutant ever. And he also can somehow transform into Iron Man. Like, what, Metamorpho? I'm pretty sure. Literally, like, okay. And then now we got, which, let's make a little funny joke about how Mr. Terrific also used to be a part of the X-Men. For like 5 minutes, even though he's the character that's not supposed to die. Crazy. Fantastic Four. Back to it. In further discussing the comic book origins of the characters, he acknowledged that the X-Men are more about dealing with internal struggles and less about external villains. Yeah, I could trust that, especially with this guy, because this is the guy that directed the Thunderbolts. I already mentioned that. And the Thunderbolts was about internal struggle. Their main villain was also now the huge member of their team. So, pretty good stuff. Fantastic Four did amazing, etc. Alright, so let's go into Fantastic Four. I'm going to give my non-spoiler review. First, let's rate it on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's up there with Marvel movies. It is. I will say the ending, little bit, without giving spoilers, just a little bit over dramatic. There's sometimes, even if comic book heroes, like, you always want to be like, give the benefit of the doubt because it's based off a comic book and comic books are fake and nothing's going to be realistic. There is something at the end, though, that just makes absolutely no sense because of the power scale. I'll just say that. But I do love the fact that we get introduced on Richards Franklin. Sorry, I said that, botched that. Franklin Reed Richards we get introduced. He's a powerful creature. He's one of the most powerful Fantastic Four members. He's also one of the most powerful members in all of Marvel, even though all he is a kid of Mr. Stretch and Mrs. Invisible. It's hilarious. But cosmic radiation does not care about what powers have originated from. LOL. Did I just say LOL? No, let's move on. So 8.5 out of 10. It's amazing. I don't have to give the benefit of the doubt to the casting. I thought the casting was a little over dramatic. I didn't think we needed Pedro Pascal because he's already on top of the world. He just got done with Gladiator, so we were like, he's amazing, but let's bring somebody new to the table. And we didn't. And we didn't with Sue Storm. And we didn't with Johnny Storm. And we definitely didn't do it with Ben Grimm, even though Ben Grimm is probably my favorite characters out of this movie. Johnny Storm is my favorite character from Fantastic Four, and besides Spider-Man, was also my favorite hero. I love Johnny. I love him. I love him. Flame on, baby. Flame on. Flame on. I just didn't see that much of Johnny, the hot-headedness. I did get comic book accurate stuff that only people who read the comics actually understand when it came to Johnny. I'll explain more in the spoilers. But I didn't get the just how he acted kind of thing. I think he did well with what he was told to because he was told by directors that you needed to act a specific way. He even made a big announcement earlier on his webpage about how he wants to not be misogynistic, which is fine. We're not going to get into detail, but being Johnny doesn't mean you're misogynistic in a way. It's just being reckless and hot-headedness, and it shows people that he started off hot-headed, he started off reckless, and then there's a big climax and a big character revolution where he becomes somebody who's willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good. But he does not originate like that. When you first meet Johnny, for a good bit, Chris Evans did a great example of Johnny. That was very comic accurate besides the nitty-gritty stuff that I really enjoy, like what fascinates Johnny. We didn't get much of that in the originals, but we did get a personality-based Johnny Storm from Chris Evans, which I won't botch Joseph Quinn for, but I will have to say I hope we get a little bit more, especially with Spider-Man, because that's the great thing about Johnny Storm, Human Torch, and Peter Parker and Spider-Man's relationship, is Spider-Man is trying to be the responsible one who is trying to lay down literally everything so he can save one person. So he wants to save the world, but all he can do is save one person at a time, and he does everything he possibly can for that. Johnny, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. He thinks he can do literally whatever and have whatever and still save people. And the responsibility and also being a little loose, he shows Peter how to loosen up and to be more freer and not to be so hard on himself. And then Peter shows Johnny that you need to be a little bit more responsibility and you need to understand how the value of people. All right, now, so let's do the Marvel rankings. So there's 37 movies in Phase 1. Phase 2, Phase 3, Phase 4, Phase 5, and now we've got our first movie of Phase 6, Fantastic Four First Steps, which I've already given a spoiler-free review, and at the end of this video, I will be giving a spoiler review. I can't wait because I want to talk about it. But right now, let's talk about our Marvel rankings. Now, there's 37 movies. I'm going to give you my top 10. That is based off of rewatchability, favoritism, and it just being a genuinely good movie and making history in Marvel Cinematic Universe. Bye-bye. Number 10. Captain America: The First Avenger. This was heavenly. This was a breath of fresh air when it came to superhero movies. Because we got some weird ones. We've gotten some different ones. We've gotten that Will Smith one that, like, they made him Superman, I guess. But this was an origin story. This is, like, on the verge of the best origin story of all time. Besides the Batman Begins. Like, and my also higher rated one. We'll go further into that. But Captain America: The First Avenger is basically the first time we got somebody that represented being a shield to just anybody. He literally carried around, he used in an alley behind a movie theater a tin shield, and then soon became a skinny little dude into the big super soldier hero we know today. In the comics, that's why I love it. It's so comic accurate of the transformation of the man who made him into Captain America. And I'm a bodybuilder, so I like the fact that Chris Evans, like, that transformation was one of the coolest transformations. And I like watching transformation compilations because of how cool they can look, and Captain America is one of the biggest ones that started the brand of transformations in hero movies, and it was amazing. It looked amazing. That movie, that's the only CGI also in the movie, I think, is the skinny Chris Evans. Like, the rest of the movie, because of how military war movie it is, it doesn't need that much CGI, so that's why it's also really good. The super soldier serum, the story behind the serum of how it made a bad man a worse man and it made a good man a better man, and that speech and that dialogue that the doctor gives to Steve Rogers is beautiful, and I love it. Alright, so let's go to number 9. Avengers Endgame. Don't get me wrong, I love Avengers Endgame. I love it. It's one of the movies that I think I watched the most in the theaters. I watched it with my family. I watched it with different families. I watched it with friends on opening night. I watched it with my dad's friend and my friend. And it was just the 4 of us, and we watched it, and it was amazing. And then we went to Burger King after, and it was amazing. And because AMC was parked right in front of Burger King, it was a cool little transition. That's why Burger King is also, like, it's not now. It used to be one of my favorite fast foods. Ooh, fast food ranking one day would be good. Put it in the comments if you want that. But Endgame is amazing. It is. But the first 2 hours is a mess. It's just a wild card of different things. There is no point of half of it. Yes, we get Ant-Man coming out of the thing, explaining it. But, like, the first 20 minutes was really nice. I liked what they did. I understand why they destroyed the stones. I know that Thor chopping off his head was really a big topic back in the day. I didn't know it until, like, recent. But I loved Avengers Endgame. But basically that movie is stand alone on that last 30 minutes to an hour. That last 30 minutes to an hour is the best thing ever any cinematic movie has ever made. I love Avatar. I love Avatar Way of Water, and I'm probably going to love Avatar Fire and Ash because it's freaking beautiful, and I've watched the trailer because they put it out. The trailer just came out today on YouTube and other platforms, but for me, it came out the first time I watched Fantastic Four, which was last Thursday. And I've watched Fantastic Four twice, and it was beautiful because I watched it with my buddy, and he loved the movie, and his dad also loves the Avatar, so hopefully we'll watch it together, and we'll also give a rating on that when that comes. But it is not as good as the last 30 minutes to an hour of Avengers Endgame, where we got Captain America holding the Mjolnir, and we had Cap and Thor and Iron Man face off against Thanos, and then we had the first ever like actual Avengers Assemble call out, and we had so many cameos, even though it didn't feel like a cameo fest. We got Spider-Man swinging in like he's freaking amazing. Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel character of all time. I love him. Iron Man is my first Marvel Cinematic Universe character, but comic book wise, Spider-Man is my favorite hero of any heroes. He's my favorite Marvel hero. He shows what it is to just be good and to be selfless, and how sometimes sacrifices are necessary. That's why we do not like Spider-Man Homecoming and this on this podcast, because it dogs all those things that I just said. We'll get into that a different day when we do the Spider-Man ranking, but it does. Avengers Endgame is amazing. It is amazing. Don't get me wrong, this is not some hot topic. This isn't some bait for clickbait. Endgame is amazing. But the first 2 hours is just a mess. And also, let's talk about rewatchability. You ain't rewatching that until Christmas, New Year's Eve, and I bet you're still going to wait till you can watch the last hour and still get Iron Man Snap on time by only watching the last hour. You're going to put that movie on in the background and put it on mute until that last hour. And I say that because I've done it for the last 5 years. Now, the first 3 years, I'm pretty sure I watched the whole movie because I was by myself. Well, I was definitely for one of those 3. And I just know I watched the whole movie. The second 2 years, no. I let that thing play in the background. I played on my phone. It's amazing. It is. But because of those last 30 to an hour minutes, if you guys want to talk about that some other day, we can do that on a hot take stop episode, where I'm going to get somebody on here to do a hot takes. Also, an announcement for my next episode. We're going to do a Spider-Man ranking. We're going to do a music blind ranking of our favorite country music. We're going to do just different types of nerd stuff. Hopefully, we're going to watch a movie and rank and review that movie. We're going to do a lot of things in the next episode, and the next episode is going to have our first guest. And I can't wait to bring him on because he's a good kid, and he loves nerd, and he loves country music. He loves Morgan Wallen. But I'm not going to tell you until the end of this episode. So, Avengers Age of Ultron is on number 8. I put it just right above Endgame because that was for clickbait. No, it wasn't. I put Avengers Age of Ultron above Endgame because of the first time we get the team together, just being a team, just being a family, basically. That's the first time we get to see a family time in type context in the Avengers. Yes, it ruffles some feathers. Yes, it gets hard for people, but gosh darn it, is it amazing. And the fact that Captain America almost left him Mjolnir, and the fact that that movie just is a basically trying to lead to Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame is amazing. They do a good job in that. It's just the rest of it not so much. The Ultron itself, I love Ultron, and I love who voices Ultron, and I can't wait till we get him back in the Vision project. But it is not like something to die for, basically. That's why Avengers Age of Ultron is at number 8 and just right above Endgame, because all around I think it is a better movie, and I just love the fact that the Avengers are a family, are a team in this movie. And the family has internal struggles, and we learn more about the family and more about the different characters from the MCU. Number 7, another top tier family that was actually a D rank type hero team, but James Gunn made it into a A rank, baby. We're talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is where we get Rocket Raccoon and his emotional background of how he was stripped apart and put back together, literally, and then put with others that were stripped apart, put back together, and was able to find joy with those people. But then those people were taken away from him, and then it shows us why he was able to relate to Thor so much in Avengers Infinity War. It makes that little relation just so much better, because we don't get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 until after Endgame. It was great. Number 6, Iron Man. This is the start of the MCU. This is the start of the love of Marvel movies that I get. This is the start of comic books that I get. This is the start of the perfect cast to character ratio of anything. Was Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man. Yes, will there maybe be somebody else putting on the suit one day? I wouldn't be that surprised, because the soft reboot that Kevin Feige wants to do, but I'm not crazy about it. I'm not, because Iron Man was so that in-game last 30 minutes to an hour was so emotional because of who Iron Man is and what he did for the MCU. Robert Downey Jr. carried the MCU and launched it into this amazing thing for the next years to come. It is also one of the most rewatchable movies of all time. It's probably the third most rewatched movie I've watched out of all of MCU, and the other two are above on the list. Alright, so let's go to our next on the list. Number 5 is Captain America Civil War. This is where we get to show that Iron Man we saw in 2008. We saw how MCU did because of Iron Man. Iron Man is the heart of soul of Marvel, of Avengers in the cinematic universe. He's the heart and soul of the Avengers team. Hawkeye is the more soul, but Iron Man is really what runs their engine, basically, is the gas to their engine. And you have to be able to steer that vehicle. You have to be able to use that gas and savor it and aim it into a right direction. That was what Captain America was. And the fact that they made Captain America Civil War and him not do that anymore to Tony, and that's why Tony starts having this internal struggle, because he's trying to put an armor around the world. He's trying to save as many people as he can from forces he can't control, and he's having a very, very difficult time right now because of the struggle that Cap is having also in himself, where he wants to just be the shield for others, and it feels like the United States and all governments are trying to take away that shield, take away his right to be a hero and to choose who he gets to save, because he wants to save everybody, and they're saying, I'm going to be the one that tells you where to go, who you're allowed to save. And Cap is the leader of the Avengers, but literally the one that put the Avengers together was Iron Man. Yeah, Nick Fury did it, but Iron Man is the one that kept it together as much as possible until Civil War, and then he became the fact that you have the protagonist of all of Marvel and some of people's favorite characters, mine especially, and then make him the antagonist of a movie is huge. It is basically better than what they try to do that with Batman v Superman, which in the comics is amazing and very similar. But in the movie was absolutely trash and one of the worst DC movies I've ever seen in my life. Batman v Superman is terrible. It is trash, and we'll get into that the next time we talk about DC. And hopefully in their big news, upcoming news, we'll talk about it. Because there is a Batman-related thing that I will talk about later after this Marvel ranking and Marvel quiz / DC quiz. So, number 4. The thing that got our team together, and the second most rewatchable Marvel movie of all time for me, Avengers Assemble. This is where we got the team. This is where we got our friends. This is where we got to see the 360 adventure shot. This is when we got the amazing music. This is when we got the helicarrier. This is when we got the helicarrier going down because freaking Hulk's doing it. And then we got Iron Man already showing that he would sacrifice his life for people, even though Cap thought he wouldn't, but he's going to lay down. You say he's not going to be the man to lay down on the wire. He'd rather cut the wire, because Iron Man's going to find a solution no matter what to protect them, basically, even though he might die. Nobody saw that, and we saw it in adventure. We saw it in every movie. We saw it in that little part. We saw it in the part where he sends freaking a nuke into space. We saw it in Avengers Age of Ultron, where he blasts the vibranium core of the island and destroys it and almost dies from the wreckage. Then we also saw it in his dream and the nightmare of him being the only one alive because he couldn't save everybody. Cap's literally, his nightmare was Cap being like, you could have saved us. And Iron Man is being emotional, being like, I wanted to. I need to. And that's what sent us on this little internal struggle of Iron Man. And Cap's internal struggle is basically the Winter Soldier arc to Civil War arc, trying to save his friends, save his history, because somehow it ended up in present day, and it feels like everybody's against him on it. So number 3, Captain America. What a great transition. Captain America Winter Soldier, baby. This is the number 1 most rewatchable movie in all of Marvel. It's the first, I think, besides the first Avengers, it's the first 10 out of 10 Marvel movie. Because of the character arcs we get, of the character development, of the character nuance of Falcon and Bucky as Winter Soldier. Holy crap. And the scenes, they have the highest highs of all scenes. You got the Nick Fury scene. You got freaking the highway fight scene, the hand-to-hand combat, and him chasing around Black Widow. Everybody was a little frightened from that. Him just being absolutely intimidating throughout the whole movie, Bucky, and the conflict that Cap had in trying to save his friend, but also destroy Hydra, because Hydra has taken over S.H.I.E.L.D., and that internal, the resemblance to how some things in the real world works, and they made it into superheroes. Oh my gosh. People had a lot of conflict about how they brought real politics into superheroes movies. Well, they did it through a 10 out of 10, so they couldn't really say much. They couldn't, because the movie was perfect. Let's move on to number 2. My favorite character, the best character, and we also got Andrew Garfield, who's my favorite Spider-Man, in cinematic wise. Spider-Man No Way Home. It's also another 10 out of 10. No, it's not as rewatchable as the others. I love it because of the one character arc that we finally get with Spider-Man. We finally get, with great power comes great responsibility. We get Andrew teaching him that restraint is necessary, and that internal struggle is something you have to deal with. And we get Toby as an older brother to both of them, basically showing them different resolutions on both of these two problems. And then we get the Andrew Garfield Gwen Stacy moment, but with MJ and his redemption. It's so beautiful, and the movie just runs perfectly on and on and on and on, and there's no hiccups, there's no bad moments. It's so good. It's peak. Can you hear me? It's peak. And our number 1, also probably number 4, maybe 5 of the most rewatchable movies in all of Marvel, Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War is the most rewatchable movie in all of Marvel. It's amazing. It literally is I'm going to do this one plain and simple because I know people are going to agree with me on this one. It is not this statement maybe, but on the Avengers Infinity War being the number 1 in the Marvel movies, and sometimes people's favorite movie, which I'm not going to give them wrong for that, because it's up there. It's my number 1 of 37 Marvel movies. It is basically watching a comic book flip page to page, how you switch from different teams and different battlegrounds. It is like page to page on a movie theater. And it was amazing. And I wish I watched it more than once in the theater, but I don't know if I did. I may have watched it twice. That's 4, twice. But yeah, that's a Marvel ranking. That was my 10-1. None of it was rage bait. None of it was hate. All of it was love, and showing people the reason why I like a lot of these, because of the good that it shows of how you can be, even though you have so many struggle, and you're still trying to help everybody. That's a big thing. All right, so let's do our Marvel quiz. Just a Marvel / DC quiz. We're basically going to do Dad versus Junior. Every question is a point. There's bonus questions to some of these questions. It'll be first one to grab the ball gets to answer. Yep, that's how. So I think, yeah. Preferably try to do this instead of this because you might hit something. So, Dad versus Junior. That is Dad. Dad, raise your hand. Okay, Junior, raise your hand. If you guys want to say something real quick before you all have a fun time on this quiz.
Yeet, this dude's a nerd, subscribe.
Okay.
Yeet!
Okay. Alright. First question's not super hard, but it is going to be a funny one. Funny because Dad's probably going to get it. Who is the man who was able to build it in a cave with a box of scraps? And what did he build?
Iron Man suit.
Wrong.
It's the other dude, but I forgot his name.
Well, Dad was half right, but I'd rather his identity.
Don't know.
Because he wasn't Iron Man yet.
Tony Stark, come on.
Tony Stark, the Iron Man.
That is Tony Stark.
Junior only gets half point.
What?
That's because
So it's Tony.
Half guy.
Yeah, so it's Tony Stark and the arc reactor.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Because it's this quote, I quote, is Obadiah Stane in the first Iron Man movie when he's saying it to the scientists.
I knew it wasn't called the Iron
He
Man
built
suit.
this with a box of scraps in a cave.
I knew it wasn't called the Iron Man suit. I just didn't know the real name because I got a wife.
Second question. Who's a man out of time? This one's a little bit more difficult.
Who's a man out of time?
This is still a Marvel question. I will say he's part... My only hint is he's a part of the 6 Avengers. Who is a man out of time?
Out of time.
Doctor Strange?
Nope, not the 6 main. The 6 original Avengers.
Captain America?
Yep.
Boom!
Okay.
4 letters.
So far...
One word. Yeet!
So far, it is Dad at 1, Junior at 0.5. Number 3. Who says, and I quote, "The soldier, a man out of time," and I quote, "I'm not the man who is out of time"? There's 2 answers here.
Who says?
Yes.
The soldier, the man out of time. What's the other part?
The other quote, which just parallels, is, "I'm not the one who is out of time." I'm trying not to say it like they do, because that would give it away.
Samuel L. Jackson, who plays the guy with the eye patch,
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury.
No. Put the ball down.
Oh, then it's...
Put the ball down.
You can pick it back up.
Hang on, no.
Okay, I'll give you one hit because you get to answer before we try to do the ball again. He's the god of mischief.
Hawkeye.
Loki!
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know nothing.
That's fine. It's not
Hey,
like we watch
okay.
every movie.
Yeah! You expect me...
Okay, bonus points if you can name the movie and what scene it was and who also was the third person in the fight.
What scene it was?
Yeah, what scene in the movie?
Did he say...
When Loki said to Cap, he said, "The soldier, a man out of time," and then Cap says, "I'm not the one who's out of time."
Iron Man, the original Avengers, and Black Widow was flying the plane.
Yeah, okay, that's even...
Yeet!
The reason I don't remember, you want to see what the stuff I have to remember?
What?
I'll show you.
No, you can't show me.
no.
It's a whole paragraph.
That will be for next episode. Wait, what?
So, yeah, I have to remember a whole paragraph.
Oh,
to get it.
Karate.
Oh, okay. So next episode will be about karate, and
Kid.
WWE.
And Cobra Kai!
So, fourth question.
I love this.
The famous quote on your left is said to and from whom? On your left.
Oh.
I think you got this.
Captain America.
Okay, that's who said it. So you already got the first point.
That's not who said it.
Yes, Captain America's the one that said it.
No.
Who did he say it to?
No, somebody says, Cap, on your left.
Nope. That's an Avengers. Okay, I'm talking about in Captain America Winter Soldier,
Oh.
where the famous quote originated from.
And he said, on your left?
Yes. So Cap is the one who said it. Who did he say it to? You can give me his hero name or his secret identity.
His? Is it his?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I forgot his name. Does he have a robot arm thing?
No. He does soon become friends with the man with a robot arm, Bucky Barnes.
No.
He was in the movie that I watched 3 times, and me and you watched together at least once.
What's that movie? Okay.
Dad, if you want the rest of the points.
Trying to think of who was on his team.
He was in Captain America Winter Soldier when he was running around.
I know, but I mean, this is Winter Soldier?
Yes. When the first quote originated.
Bucky Barnes?
Nope.
Oh.
Sam Wilson, the Falcon.
Oh, Sam! Captain America now!
I get half a point?
Bonus. No, you get a full point. It was 2-point question. So it's a point half versus 3. So you're not honestly that low. So, bonus to this question, where was the quote taking place?
The mall.
Dang, wow. No, it's a state. And it's also, the capital and the state are 2 different places. That's the only geographical hint I can give you. Is that the capital is not the capital of the same state, but there is a state with the capital's name.
New York?
Dang it. Washington, D.C.
That's not a state. That's just...
No, that's the point. That's what I was saying.
So it's the capital.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but there is a state with the same name as the capital.
I gotcha.
So we're still 3
Do you
to...
know New York City is not the capital of New York?
Yeah. It's pretty fancy.
Yeah.
Question number 5. And this is referring to the movie that is coming out this Thursday, Fantastic Four. Name all 4 of the Fantastic Four family heroes' names. Bonus if you get their secret identities. Or just their identities.
Strong guy.
That's funny, but no.
I don't know any of them.
Human Torch, if you want to cut me off at all.
I don't know any of them.
Human Torch, The Thing, Mr. Fantastic, The Invisible Woman / Mrs. Fantastic. I would have taken either one of those. And their hero and their identities is Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm, Reed Richards, and Sue Storm.
So those 4 are related?
No, Sue Storm and Johnny Storm are the related one. That's Mrs. the Invisible Woman, and Human Torch.
They're brother and sister.
Yes. And then Reed and Ben were basically friends, scientists, brothers. And
BFFs.
Yeah. So that is our Marvel section. Right now it is 3 to a point and a half. We are now entering the DC section.
DC!
This should be really easy on the very first one. Where does the Flash get his powers from? That was a good one. I bet you the microphone picked up that one.
It's the thing that goes off in Star Labs. I forgot the
I'll take that.
Okay.
I mean,
Sweet.
where does... Well, no. I'm going to need you to say the accident. If you want that. Or
in the police station.
what I was really referring to is where does the speed come from? Like, where does his power come from? It's a hint is it is as important as the sun and the stars itself. Season 2 of The Flash is when we first get to meet them. Because Soon takes his powers away.
His heart?
Nope.
His chest?
Speed Force!
Yep.
Oh, man.
What you were getting at, I would have taken is the particle accelerator.
Yeah.
Because that's technically
I
true.
do not smell.
No, I was giving you a hug.
Oh. I thought you said smell.
Number 2. This one's going to be a little bit hard. Like, it's easy for originators, so if you know, you might know. What gives Green Lantern the ability to use his power ring?
Oh.
Green Lantern.
I was going to say the ring.
The ability to use his power ring.
How does he make the constructions? What's
Yeah.
the power that he uses it? So a blue power ring, how they use it is the hope. The stronger they hope, the more they can construct with it.
So green
Is
greed.
nope.
Oh, money.
Nope.
Oh.
Well, green. No, greed would be like, green.
His thumb.
No,
Mm.
it's willpower.
Willpower.
The power.
Stubbornness. Dang it.
This one should be easy for Dad because he's seen the movie, but you've watched it with me
Wow.
a few times.
You're being
You've
not
watched
favorite.
it before.
Not being in my
Hey,
favor.
It's one of the biggest Christopher Nolan movies of all time. who says, I quote, "Let me tell you how I got my scars." The fact that you're hesitating is
Joker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good night. That was spooky.
Played by Heath Ledger.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, bonus. What movie does it come from?
Dark Knight!
Junior, I was trying to give you that one.
I've never
He's
seen
never
it.
watched him.
He's seen them. I've watched that
I
thing 1,000
haven't
times.
watched Dark Knight.
Oh, wow. Those are the movies I keep coming back to. So both of you should be able to answer this from, where do the League or Society meet?
The League, like the Justice League?
You gotta pick up.
The Avengers Tower.
Oh my gosh. That's not funny.
I don't know what they mean.
Yeah, me either.
Really?
No.
It was in the Superman movie.
Star Lab?
Oh, the big place.
Yeah, but what's the name of the big place?
I don't know.
The Hall of Justice. Bonus, if you can give me the capital which it claims to live or to remain.
Washington?
Yep.
Yay.
It is also in Washington, D.C. is the Hall of Justice. So we'll give Junior that.
Yay.
So it's 5.5 to 2.5. Junior, you have to get this whole question to tie. Where is Superman from, and what family/house is he from?
Krypton.
We need the whole answer. What house is he from?
Or.
Nope.
I don't know.
What's his name from Krypton? Kal.
Kal-El!
Dad, it was his turn. You
Sorry.
dropped the ball.
Kal-El.
Yeah.
He didn't get the whole question. I got the first part. You.
Okay, so we're all tied up.
No, I got the first part. I got Krypton.
We're all tied
You
up.
have to get the whole thing.
He didn't get the whole
The
thing.
House of L is what I really want,
But
because that's
he
the
didn't
nerd.
get the whole
That's the
thing.
nerd thing.
The House of Elves.
This is going to be the easiest question of all time.
Oh.
Who's Spider-Man's secret identity?
Peter Parker.
Yes. Junior wins.
I believe favoritism swayed. You didn't get the whole question.
Yeah, I did.
Archeo. Love you. Thanks for having us.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the quiz. Now we're going to talk about DC. We're going to talk about the new DCU. Superman first. My review out of 10. 3, 2, 1. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Baby. It was. The reason why I love it is because after all this time, the last 10 years, we've had a lot of people thinking, especially on social media, especially in everything, but you can't get them wrong, because people go to movies. People go see DC movies, and they saw Man of Steel, and they saw Batman v Superman, and they thought, oh, to be somebody strong and powerful was to be selfish, and to be some grinder, and to... Pause. And to be somebody who only puts himself first, that doesn't try to help others. And then finally, one, we get a comic accurate Superman. That's always good. We get Clark Kent. Man of Steel is so terrible because of how many people they let die, and because of the fact that Henry Cavill doesn't play Clark Kent. He plays Henry Cavill in the movie. He plays Superman, and he's not a bad Superman, but he is at the same time, because he doesn't save anybody. He doesn't genuinely go out of his way to save people. He's just fighting, and he's just destroying people. That's all he's doing in these movies. Shoot, he shaves a bus in Shazam. And also the freaking Paul Kent being like, you should let the bus of kids drown. What the frick? That is not Paul Kent. Ticks me off. But I'm not going to be mad, because it's about love and positivity. Positive. So let's go to Superman. Superman is the best movie we've gotten in a long time. I'm not going to hate on Marvel, because we did get Thunderbolts beforehand, and Thunderbolts was amazing and did a lot of things that Superman did when it came to struggle and just being good and helping people with mental health. Especially, it showed how mental health needs something, is a topic that needs to be talked about and needs to be concentrated on just a little, and Thunderbolts did it. And they did it with a hugely powerful character, and they showed how powerful that character was, which is something amazing, which is something Marvel has a hard time doing, is to debunk powerful characters and make it low. And they did pretty good in that. So I'm not going to hate on Marvel, but Superman is also better and looking. It's the first movie. It's going to be an Iron Man to the DCU. It's going to be an Iron Man was to Marvel Cinematic Universe. Superman is that for DCU. It's going to bring people to this universe, showing that it's okay to be good. It's okay to be a joyous, happy person and to try to protect everyone. He saves a squirrel. He saves a squirrel, and he has a dog, and he loves everyone, and he wants to keep everyone safe. And he wants to save all the people, and then they show how he's saving people. They show how he's helping others, and he shows that he's not being selfish. And it shows people like me, specifically, who just wants to help people, that it is okay to be someone who wants to help others, who doesn't want to put themselves first, who wants to put others first and finds joy in doing so. And Superman gives a great representation of doing that and still finding ways to find love and to find great characters. It showed great characters, and Mr. Terrific was amazing. The Justice Gang was absolutely hilarious. I really liked Guy Gardner, because Guy Gardner in the comics is exactly like that. Mr. Terrific is terrific, and I can't wait till he gets his own little TV show, which is already in talk. So after that review, spoiler free, I guess, because I didn't really give any spoilers. I just gave my emotional piece about it because I love Superman. I will say the most spoiler thing I'm going to talk about is the post-credit scene with Mr. Terrific. People are missing out on the fact that Mr. Terrific in the movie literally says, if a minute detail is off, you could send off a catastrophic multiverse event. And then we get Superman being like, it's not even, and Mr. Terrific being like, what do you want me to do? Take it apart, put it back together? And he's like, no. And then he's like, I can be a jerk sometimes. Real jerk sometimes. That is a lot more important than you think, and it's going to lead a little bit into Peacemaker Season 2, which I will now watch, even though I'm not a big fan of it. I am now, because it's awesome. I'm going to watch now because it's going to talk about how this DCU is getting created and giving a little bit more details on the multiverse of this universe. And it's going to lead to it's probably going to show a big bad that we're leading up to, because they're not doing exactly what Marvel doing. They're expanding just a lot more, but we're still leading up to a big bad. We're hopefully getting to a Justice League, which leads me to the next topic on hand. Batman. Batman. I personally, we're going to talk about cast first, because we already know, I'm pretty sure everybody knows about the Brave and the Bold thing. We already know Mr. Fantastic. We already know about the different DCU projects are coming. We already know that Batman 2 is coming with Robert Pattinson. I honestly was fine if Robert Pattinson joined the DCU, because I'm a big fan of the Batman, and it is amazing, made by Matt Reeves, and I really do like Robert Pattinson as an actor. But I understand why James Gunn wants to completely restart and still let that be its own universe and make his own Batman universe. So there's no actual, I don't think there's going to be competition either. People aren't going to compare. They're just going to go see both, because we get to fathom and we get to just enjoy two different Batmans and two different projects. And it's going to be amazing. But personally, my number one fan cast for the Batman was Alan Richardson, especially after Creature Commandos. With that image that we got, how big and burly he is, I really, really wanted Alan Richardson because of Jack Reacher and because there is a line in it where he's literally trying for the Batman role. He goes, I want vengeance. It is so intimidating. And Alan Richardson is also just a good actor because in real life he seems like the greatest, joyous man of all time. And then Jack Reacher, he's the most serious, you do not want to look into his eyes at all person. And I really thought he could do it, especially for the size, because I think he is big enough. And also because of the movie that Glenn Powell is doing, the action comedy that's based off the one that Arnold Schwarzenegger's did, is going to be he's going to be a little bit smaller in the Running Man. He's going to be a little smaller in this because of him needing to be a little bit smaller. And I think that's going to show great resemblance into, hey, he can play Batman at a different size if you don't want as big as he is in Reacher's season 3? No, season 2. Yeah, season 2. Sorry. And then, but right now it looks like Brandon Skelner is our next man up. So, he gave an Instagram post. His trainer gave an Instagram post showing Brandon Skelner's new physique update, and it is a Batman physique to the T. It looks amazing. He looks amazing. I said it. Sorry. He looks amazing, and I saw his scene that he was in Ryan Reynolds' wife, Blake Lively, right? Her movie. I saw the scene where he's like, he seems like a joyous guy, and then the bad husband comes in and he like turns into Batman, turns into that dark and brooding. And then there's also a country show that he's in, and he's a very brooding, serious guy. So I think he can do it. I think he can pull it off. I have no doubt about that. I just personally wanted Alan because of the size, the comic accuracy, and because Alan Richardson deserves to be in a DCU project, deserves him to be a big blockbuster movie, which I think Running Man is going to do a lot better than people thought. We will review that someday, as soon as it comes out, honestly. Hopefully one day, I'm really praying for, is that this podcast further down the line, I understand, will get popular enough where I get to show up at premieres and events and get to bring family members and friends to them and get to show off and get to review as soon as possible, and to hopefully get some kind of product from this, and an investment towards this is really something I'm praying for. So hopefully y'all can pray with me, and if you love this, then I will be making more every Tuesday night. But yeah, Brandon Skelner, everybody, I think he's 35. He's really good. He's a good actor. I think he can do it. And he would be my second fan cast behind Alan Richardson. If we don't get Alan Richardson, I really want him as a character. Don't know who, because we already got Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart taken care of. Wonder Woman's a girl. And then we have Aquaman, but he's already been Aquaman, and he would be a huge Aquaman. And then we have the guy who was playing Aquaman last time, playing Lobo, which is the greatest fan cast of all time. So yeah, I think this is going to be amazing. And yeah, that's all I got, Marvel DC. So let's go into now the fantastic spoiler review. I just want to talk about the post-credit scene. So if you haven't seen the movie, go away. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Go away. Adios. Goodbye. Go. Next time. Come, if you go see the movie, like right now, pause it, go see the movie, come back, play it, and then you'll enjoy this. So, gonna give you 3 seconds to adjust. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so let's talk about the Doctor Doom post-credit scene. Holy crap, we got Doctor Doom. So, I'm going to theorize just a tiny bit because I'm a nerd and I've read comic books, but I'm not going to theorize to the point where you're spoiling. I'm just going to give a nerdy take on the Doctor Doom situation. I think it's beautiful. I think it's amazing. I think that is Robert Downey Jr. As Doctor Doom. If you see the baby test, though, that they take at the opening scene, it looks like it says Stark on the pregnant test. I said baby test. On the pregnant test, it looks like it says Stark or just Starch, one or the other. I don't care. It just links a little maybe, but I think that is Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. That's why they didn't show his face, and I think he's going to use Franklin to go to 616, our Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Fantastic Four is going to come. We're going to help them get Franklin back. And then Dr. Doom is going to steal either Loki's power or kill off Thor. And he has to get powerful enough to be an Avengers level threat. And he's going to take off a god, or he's going to take off Franklin. And we're going to have to use Sentry to fight, because I don't think he can take Sentry. They'll allow Sentry to be ridden of his powers, and Franklin neither, because of the comics. I think it's going to be Loki, who's the god of stories currently, or Thor, and I think we're going to get Thor and Loki's brothership in Avengers Doomsday for sure. But I think that's something huge. I think Dr. Doom is going to be... I am now confident. I was a little misled, because I was like, Robert Downey Jr. is the best actor of all time, personally. He's freaking amazing. The person you can put beside him is Tom Cruise, because of all the things he's done. And the person you can put beside him is Christian Bale, because of all the things he's done and the different types of characters he's acted as. So I trusted Robert Downey Jr. I just didn't think that they had a plan. But Kevin Feige came out and basically blunted over all of us and was like, frick y'all, we do have a plan. We just didn't think Kang was powerful enough as Dr. Doom will be, or intimidating enough, so we wanted Dr. Doom. And even though we're all cautious about the Robert Downey Jr. and about what they might ruin Iron Man's story, I think it's now a little bit more safer. And I think the worry about Avengers Doomsday was because we thought that we didn't get spend enough time with these most recent characters. But I think it's going to be like in a first Avengers more than we've been comparing it to Avengers Endgame and Infinity War because of the cameos, because of all the people we're bringing in. The freaking 90s Fox, the studio chairs that we had, the cast list is crazy. So we compared it to those movies, but let's compare it to the first Avengers, where we're meeting the team, where we're getting it joined together, and then we're getting our send-off, and then we're starting a different story, and that's where our soft reboot comes, because we still have that team. We'll just transition over to focusing more on the X-Men and Spider-Man. Let's not forget about Spider-Man. But yeah, that had a pop too. In the theater, and even the second time I watched it in the smaller theater, especially because my buddy did not watch it beforehand. Our guest coming up, actually, I'll announce the guest right now because we're at the end of the episode. His name is Trent Lovejoy, and we're going to get that kid on here, and he's going to make this podcast really fun. I don't know if we'll be on this set with everything, but we're going to try to make whatever set we are on as nerdy as possible, because that's the whole point. I might just bring the comic books and set them up in different ways. Dude, I have found a different podcast set, but this will be the set, and then hopefully we'll just bring people, bring them into this room and set them up at this chair, set them up for chair, how the gaming quiz kind of looked, just a little bit more concentrated. And we're going to make that side nerdy also, hopefully, by the time. I just need to find one more poster, like the Flash poster. I have a Spider-Man poster and an idea that's only like $15. I just need to go find it again. But yeah. So now let's get into something that I hope y'all got to stick around for. The reason why I want to do this podcast. I already said about the I want to be able to talk to different actors and people about nerdy stuff and about their acting careers, and I want to get a nerdy perspective from each actor, even if they're not in anything hero nerdy related. And then I want to just show up to red carpet events. I want to see movies before. I want to go to world movie events. I want to go to premieres. I want to also use this podcast to help people. That's the main thing. I want to help people. I want to help people into feeling like they can come to this podcast and get away from all the crap that they have to deal with and get to enjoy all thing geek. They get to learn a little bit about the games, and they get to play, or they get to enjoy the games. And then you can probably play these games on home. The quiz was pretty easy to wrap up. I made that manually. I didn't even use stuff to search up. I just used what was on the top of my head, honestly, and I hope you all enjoyed it. But yeah, I really just want to bring enjoyment to people, and I think I can use this to help people in a small way. And then soon, if it gets bigger, help people in more way. A big thing that a mentor taught is time is everything. Time is valuable, and the things you put in time will be developed, and Alba can use in big ways. He even used a clock. It was super huge, and I really loved it, and I loved how he showed our priorities, and our priority first is family, then it's friends, and then it's literally work or different interests and hobbies. And above it all, the main part of the clock, that your source of the clock is doing everything out of love that Abba wants you to do, kind of thing, like the lifestyle, the Jesus lifestyle. And I'm trying to build, and I'm going to use this podcast to show a Jesus lifestyle to others. And I hope y'all just get to enjoy this and have fun, and we get to have a long run at this every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. If people know why, then you are in the inner circle, my friends, if you know why I'm posting on Tuesday night. But yeah, that is the episode. Thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a good night.